Hello children, welcome to my online classes. In last video, you people have completed with the second chapter, that is biological classification. So in today's video, we'll continue with the third chapter, that is plant kingdom, which is one of the most important for your theory as well as NEET exams. Also, it's one of the interesting chapter wherein we are dealing with all the plants, diversified plants present on the earth. In the last chapter, as you all have studied, 5 kingdom classification in biological classification proposed by R.H. Whittaker. R.H. Whittaker, in his 5 kingdom classification, classified all the living organisms into 5 kingdoms, which includes kingdom Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae and animalia. Like this, there are 5 kingdoms in R.H. Whittaker's 5 kingdom classification. But in today's video, in plant kingdom, we are studying in detail only about kingdom Plantae, in which we are studying different classes of plant kingdom. Before 5 kingdom classification was implemented, there was 2 kingdom classification, which was having only 2 kingdoms. One was Plantae, another one was Animalia. The kingdom Plantae in 2 kingdom classification was placed with all the organisms having cell wall. But later, fungi as well as bacteria or coming under organisms coming under kingdom Monera, as well as the organisms coming under kingdom Protista were being excluded from the kingdom Plantae. And now kingdom Plantae is left with only eukaryotic multicellular chlorophyllous organisms. Remember, kingdom Plantae is now left with only multicellular eukaryotic chlorophyllous organisms. Hence, cyanobacteria, which are commonly called as blue-green algae, are not actually algae. They are not actually an algae, but they are the cyanobacteria having prokaryotic cell and placed under kingdom Monera. They are placed under kingdom Monera. Hence, exclusively plant kingdom, you find only multicellular eukaryotic photosynthetic bearing chlorophyll organisms. Understanding? So this is all about some introduction to the kingdom Plantae. But remember, the kingdom Plantae is involving totally 5 classes. Means kingdom Plantae is being classified into 5 classes, including algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Like this, plant kingdom is classified into 5 classes. But actually, angiosperms are classified depending on some systems of classification, or we'll study the classification of angiosperms based on some systems of classification. Then there are how many systems of classification for classifying the angiosperms? There are 3 systems of classification to classify the angiosperms, which involves artificial system of classification. Second one is natural system of classification, and the third one is phylogenetic classification. Like this, angiosperms are classified depending on the three systems of classification. Involves artificial system of classification, natural system of classification, another one is phylogenetic classification. What about artificial system of classification? Remember, the classification was started since from the Aristotle period and continued up to R.H. Whittaker's classification system. But among that, the artificial system of classification was being proposed by Carolus Linnaeus. The first system of classification what we are studying, that is artificial system of classification, was being first proposed by Carolus Linnaeus. What was the base for this system of classification? What is the base for classifying the angiosperms in the artificial system of classification? Remember, in the artificial system of classification, the plants were classified based on their gross morphological characteristics. Means they considered only external features, or we can say morphological characters. In the artificial system of classification, the angiosperms were classified only depending on their morphological structures, depending only on their morphological features. Maybe like habit or color or number of leaves. Like this, they considered only the morphological characters. And it is based on the vegetative characters. Vegetative characters like root, stem, leaf, only on the reproductive structures or only on the vegetative characters they stressed by considering root, stem and leaves. Along with that, they also studied the structure of androecium. Also they considered the structure of androecium, like the number of stamens, the size of stamens, the cohesion or adhesion of stamens. Depending on how many number of stamens are there, how they are fused with each other, or what is the length of the stamens. This was also considered in the artificial system of classification. But what were the drawbacks of artificial system of classification? The main drawbacks of artificial system of classification were, remember, it actually separated very two closely related individuals or very closely related species were being placed in a separated manner. Why? Because they considered or they selected only few characteristics to classify the plants. This is one drawback. Another drawback was, one drawback as I told you, they considered only few characteristics, hence they considered only few characteristics, hence they placed or it used to separate two closely related species into separate groups. And one more important characteristic which led to the drawback of artificial system of classification was, they gave equal importance or equal weightage to both vegetative characters as well as sexual characters or reproductive characters. This is not actually considerable. Why? Because the vegetative characters may change according to the environmental conditions. These were the two important drawbacks of artificial system of classification, which was being proposed by Carolus Linnaeus. Coming to the second system of classification, that is natural system of classification. Who proposed natural system of classification? Actually, the natural system of classification was being proposed by Bentham and Hooker. Remember, this was being proposed by George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker. In short, we say Bentham and Hooker. Remember, the natural system of classification was being proposed by George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker. What was the base for classification in natural system of classification? In the natural system of classification, angiosperms were classified by considering the natural affinities among the plants. What are those natural affinities? Means the resembling characters among the plants. Natural affinities means the resembling characters among the plants. They considered the resembling characters among the plants. This was the main base for the classification of plants in natural system of classification. I repeat again, in natural system of classification, plants are classified by considering the natural affinities among the plants. And one more important thing in natural system of classification is, in this system of classification, in the plants, they didn't consider only external features, but in spite of which they also considered an internal characteristics of the plants also. They also considered an internal characteristics of the plants. What are the internal characteristics they considered? Like the ultrastructure of the plants, or we can say the anatomy of the plants, means internal structures of the plants, embryological development or phytochemistry. Embryological development in the plants and also phytochemistry. Phytochemistry means what are the chemicals involved or what are the chemicals present in the plants were also being considered in the natural system of classification. I repeat again, in the natural system of classification, they not only considered the external features of the plants, but they also considered an internal features of the plants like maybe ultrastructure, anatomy, phytochemistry or even embryology. This is all about a natural system of classification. Moving on with the third system of classification. What is the third system of classification? What we are going to study? That is phylogenetic classification system. The third system of classification is the phylogenetic classification system. What is phylogenetic classification system? What actually is the base for classifying the plants here? In this system of classification, we classify the plants depending on, we classify the plants in phylogenetic classification depending on the evolutionary relationships among the organisms. Remember, in the phylogenetic classification system, the plants are classified by considering their evolutionary relationships. Means how they are actually related to each other through their ancestors. Let me tell you, if two plants are coming under same taxa, if two different plants, if they are belonging to same taxa, what does this mean in evolutionary relationship? According to, if we are considering the plants according to evolutionary relationships, remember, if two plants are belonging or coming under same taxa, this indicates these two plants share the common ancestor. Means they both have a same ancestor, or they both have been derived or been originated from one common ancestor. One common ancestor. Then what is the evidence for phylogenetic analysis or phylogenetic classification? How do they come to know who is the ancestor of which particular plants? The main evidence for phylogenetic classification are the fossils. What are the evidences for phylogenetic classification? Fossils are an evidence for phylogenetic classification. What if they don't have any fossils for phylogenetic classification? How do they classify? How do they come to know who are the ancestors of which particular plants? This will create the problem for further classification. No issues. If no fossils, nowadays we have other source. We have other source for classifying the plants by giving the evolutionary relationships. Remember, I repeat again, if fossil evidences are not available in phylogenetic classification, we have another source for classifying the organisms depending on their evolutionary relationships, which involves other three branches of taxonomy, which are the main source for the classification of plants by taking the evidences for the phylogenetic classification. Remember, there are three other branches of taxonomy which help or will clarify the confusions to classify the plants depending on their evolutionary relationships, which involves three branches of taxonomy. Which are those three branches of taxonomy? The first one is numerical taxonomy. Second one is cytotaxonomy. And the third one is chemotaxonomy. Like this, there are three other branches of taxonomy which helps one to classify the plants without any confusions, taking an evidences for phylogenetic classification. Let us study one by one. Among that, the first branch is the numerical taxonomy. What is this numerical taxonomy? How it is helpful for classification? The numerical taxonomy is completely carried out using the computers. It is carried out using the computers. Numerical taxonomy is carried out using the computers by assigning either a number or codes to each and every character. Remember, in the numerical taxonomy, it is based on or it is carried out using the computers by observing all the characters of an individual. After observing all the characters of organism, how they further analyze the characters, how they further observe the variations among the organisms. Once after observing each and every character of that particular plant, after observing each and every character of that particular organism, they will assign a number and code for each and every character. For each and every character, they will assign or they will give number or codes for every character, and then they will go for processing the data with the help of computers. Depending on the matching or depending on the comparable characteristics with the existing organisms, they will place that particular organism in the individual taxa. What is the benefit of numerical taxonomy? How it is helpful in classification? Remember, in numerical taxonomy, they will give equal importance to each and every character of an organism. No individual character is neglected in a numerical taxonomy. The numerical taxonomy is very helpful because, as I said, it gives equal preference or weightage to each and every character of an organism. And one more benefit is, here at a time hundreds of characters can be considered, as it is not manual because it is based on computer. As it is based on computer, at a time simultaneously we can process or analyze hundreds of characters of an organism. Hence, numerical taxonomy is more beneficial because of two reasons. One reason is it is giving equal weightage or preference to each and every observable characters of an organism, and the other one is at a time we can analyze or process hundreds of characters of an organism. So this is about numerical taxonomy. Coming to the second one, that is cytotaxonomy. What is cytotaxonomy? Cytotaxonomy means it is based on the cellular information or cytological information of the cell. What is that cellular information? What actually is considered in the cell? Remember, in cytotaxonomy, usually, or we can say karyotaxonomy. It is called as either cytotaxonomy or karyotaxonomy. Why actually specially we are mentioning the word karyotaxonomy? Because in a cell, within the nucleus, we find a special structures called chromosomes. Chromosomes are the main base for cytotaxonomy, because in cytotaxonomy they compulsorily refer the chromosome information like their number, their structure, as well as their behavior in the cell. Remember, cytotaxonomy is completely depending on the chromosome information of the cell, like maybe chromosome number, structure, or we can say their behavior in the cell. Depending on this, the plants are classified in cytotaxonomy. The third one, that is chemotaxonomy. What is chemotaxonomy? Chemotaxonomy means it is the taxonomy, or in this system or in this classification type, we use the information or related to the chemical composition of the plants or chemical constituents of the plants is the main base for chemotaxonomy. Remember, in chemotaxonomy, we consider the chemical constituents of the cell. We consider the chemical constituents of the cell, and depending on that, we classify the plants. Like this, we have studied the different systems of classification for angiosperms. This is all about today's class. In the next class, we study about the 5 classes of plant kingdom. What all classes are included in the plant kingdom? Along with that, we'll continue with the first class of the plant kingdom, that is algae. See you in next class again. Take care.